This program is brought to you by the Kentucky Small Business Development Center in Louisville. We provide the professional expertise, tools, and resources to help you succeed. To connect with a business coach, call 502-625-0123 or email sbdcinfo@uky.edu.
Welcome, everyone, to another Toolkit Tuesday. I'm Dave Etkin. I'm the director here at the Louisville Center of the Kentucky Small Business Development Center Network. Glad to have you here today. We've got a ton of people coming in, so we're going to wait just a second, let some folks join in. But as we wait, if you wouldn't mind looking at the bottom of your screen, you'll see a toolbar. And if you don't, just hover your cursor down that way. It should pop up. There you'll see the chat function. Just click on the chat. And if you wouldn't mind, just to make sure that you can hear us good and you can see us well, just why don't you put your name in there and tell us where you're joining from. As I say all the time, it's so interesting to see where we are, people are joining from. We get folks from all over the world sometimes, so it's really, really interesting. I'm not sure how people find out about it, but there we are. So we got Kathy, Kathy Pyrek. As I always say, Kathy's got the coolest business in town. One of these days, I'm going to have her on here so she can tell her story because it is just so awesome. So we've got LaGrange, Wendy, St. Paul, Minneapolis. There's Tib Shaw. Good. Thanks for joining us today. Glazer's Collision, been there. You guys have a great business. You guys helped me out one time. Covington, Maryland and Covington. Gosh, Ashley, Noel, thanks for joining us. Really appreciate it. So as we go through our presentation today with our guest, if you have any questions or comments or just want to ask something specific about your business or a quick how-to, just put it in the chat and either I or our guest will get to it. Because we want to make sure that you come away today with enough information to really drive your social media videos forward and do some really good stuff. Here we do a lot of video, and my co-worker and good friend Janet, she's one of the biggest video fans here with us. We do a lot of stuff with our clients and everything, and she was able to bring our guest today, Heather Hukari, who is a spectacular resource on video in your social media feeds and stuff. She's from the Denver, Colorado area, and she came from a digital marketing background. She has a digital marketing course, PhoneVideo 101, how to do these things with your phone. So Heather, you out there?
I am here now, present.
All right. Excellent. Good to see you, Heather. So
Thanks.
welcome. So we've got a ton of people online here and everyone's waiting not so patiently, I think, but so let's just jump right in. So get your pen and pencil out and let's take some great notes and really get this thing going. So Heather, I'm just going to hand it off to you and let's get started.
Okay. All right. Thank you for the intro. Just a little bit more info about me so you know who I am and who's talking to you. My name's Heather Hukari. I've been in the video industry for 20 plus years, my whole career. So I've done a lot of different things with video, including advertising, documentaries, training videos, conference videos, internal videos for corporations. More recently, a lot of marketing for small businesses and social media, specifically like Reels, TikToks, things like that, because that is huge now. So I've also been teaching people how to make video themselves for the last few years. I think maybe I started that in 2017, just because I saw a big need for it, because user-generated video is becoming really popular. Also, it's just an expectation now for small business owners to put video out, and it's easy enough to create on your own because we have these amazing cameras with us all the time. So I just started teaching what I knew from all of my experience and sort of translating it into something that's easy to understand and apply for any person with any level of video knowledge or background. So that brings us to now I have my own company called Video Service Hub, where I make professional video for people. And then I also have an online course and training program called PhoneVideo 101, which I'll give you a little bit more info about near the end of this presentation. But today we are talking all about how to stand out on social media with video. So let's dive in here. Quick history lesson on user-generated video. Like why is video such a big deal, right? Why, I mean, as a small business owner, you know it's an expectation to have it, but how did we get there? So it really started with YouTube in 2005, if you'll remember that time in your life, whatever you were doing. It was kind of the first platform that wanted user-generated video, and people were like, oh, wow, I can just post anything and random people will watch it. This is interesting. And there was like early videos that went viral, you know, it's like user-generated video was feeling itself out, but it was becoming popular because of YouTube. 2007, the iPhone came out, and that brought the internet, including YouTube and other platforms that were starting to use and want user-generated video, to the palm of everyone's hand. So more people could watch and access it. And then more and more platforms through the next, decade plus wanted video. Instagram, Facebook suddenly were like, oh, upload your videos here too. TikTok came out. Even like LinkedIn, Pinterest, all of these places were like, hey, give us video. And so people started doing that. Then the pandemic hit in 2020, and that really increased people's watch time for online video. Check out this little chart here. You can see that the average number of hours of video watching per week has just steadily gone up, these years. And in 2020, it jumped 2 and then 2 more. And now we're at 19 hours per week of online video watching, which is a lot of video. You might watch that much video, maybe you don't, but this is an average. So this survey says that 68% of consumers say that the pandemic impacted the amount of video content they watched online, with 96% saying it increased. So more and more people are watching online video, and a lot of that online video is user-generated content. It's not like everyone's just watching Netflix on their phone. That's just not the case. We are scrolling social media, we're watching YouTube, stuff like that. So pre-pandemic too, this is how people met, as business owners. You probably had a lot more in-person meetings with possible clients or customers, or just connecting, networking, stuff like that. And then the pandemic really brought us to this, where the only option was to meet on Zoom. So it became extremely normal to see another person face to face on video. It became as normal to us as being in person, So we're still kind of in that phase. Yes, we can meet in person again, and we do, but seeing someone on video feels very normal to us still. So I think that's also increased just the normalcy of watching video online for people. So what are some benefits of video? Like, why is video so great of a medium? A few reasons here. It's that face-to-face connection. It really brings that to you, even if it's through a screen. So this is my little bitty son when he was little bitty. He's like 2 now. But if you've been around a baby, eye contact. They love faces, watching faces, staring at you, looking at anyone. And it makes sense because it's how we learn about expression. It's how we learn about the world, through people's faces. It's how we learn language, by watching them talk along with hearing them. So babies are picking up these cues all the time, and it feels very good to them and normal to have that eye contact and be face to face with somebody. So, my son, he would find a face and just lock in on it. And, grow up and you realize staring is inappropriate, but you still have this primal thing in your brain that's like, I want to see people. It feels good to me as a tribe animal kind of thing to be in front of somebody. So video really can kind of emulate that, even if you're not in person. Video can also build that know, like, and trust factor, which is really essential for people to want to purchase from you or work with you. If you provide a service, they want to know, like, and trust you. You know, this is kind of the society we're in now. We don't want just random Joe Schmo selling us things. We want to like know what Joe is about. It really can be that really great connector that we need to get those customers and clients. I love this quote. Video creates the opportunity for a degree of genuine human engagement between the landing page visitor, or, you know, that could be the scroller, right? If it's not on your landing page, and the message, which is a critical step to building trust. And Forbes says that video is one of the best ways to connect emotionally with the customer. And we are all emotional buyers these days, you know, we really are. I definitely am. So video can really do all of those things by getting you face to face with that potential person, that target audience person. And another benefit is that social media has popularized video so much and made it so accessible to people. Tons of people are on social media. In 2020, there are over 3.6 billion worldwide. That is a lot of, that's like an incomprehensible number to me of people. And that's projected to increase to over almost 4.5 in 2025. So people are using social media. And the thing is, what social media, what these platforms want and are pushing it via algorithm is video more than anything else. So it's super essential to get in front of people right now with video. Instagram particularly, I'm going to talk a lot about Instagram today because I think it's such a powerful platform for small business. It really is. People, you know, Instagram used to be much more like just a social sharing platform. You know, your friends, you would post pictures and like each other's pictures, and some photographers or like influencers would get on there and post like beautiful photos. But it's really changed to more of a place for businesses to promote themselves, almost like a little storefront. It's very powerful, and there are over 2 billion people using it each month actively, and 83% of consumers claim they use it to discover new products and services. So it's a great place for you as a small business owner to get in front of people so that they can discover you. So whether or not you're using Instagram, whatever platform you're using with social media, everything we talk about is going to apply. But I'm just going to sort of refer to Instagram a lot throughout this presentation because that's what I think is most powerful right now for most businesses. So what is popular on Instagram and these platforms is short form vertical videos. And what I mean by that short form, I mean under a minute, because people's attention spans are very short these days. I know you know that because you're a person in the modern world and your attention span has probably shrunk over the last decade. But you don't have to like hold yourself to a specific time making these types of videos that we're going to go over. You can post a longer video as a reel. That is totally fine. But I think people are just used to things being shorter, and they're more likely to watch the whole video if it's a little bit shorter. So I would say whatever you're making, how short can you make it? How quickly can you give value to keep people in there, right? So under a minute is just like kind of a good range, but it can definitely be shorter. It can be longer if it's holding attention. Vertical is really important too here, and that's because you want to fill the screen with your video. Everyone on social media holds their phone like this. You know, nobody is watching social media like this. So if you post a video that's horizontal, it's not a deal breaker. It's not the end of the world, but you're not utilizing the entire real estate of the screen that people are watching you on. It'd be like putting something on TV, you know, it's like a big giant box, but only filling part of the box. So there's like black all over. It's just not a great user experience. And we know that 77% of people in this giant survey are watching video on their mobile device or a tablet. So more people are watching mobilely with social media, particularly than on their TV or on their computer. So that vertical is important. Now, if you do post horizontally, here's just an example. You see that there's black on the top and bottom, right? And this is fine. This is not a video I made for social media. So I was like, whatever, I'm just going to share it anyway. But if I make a reel,
I have rapped in the program. I did a Weird Weekends episode about rap.
Can you remember any of the
right? So I'm like big and bold, and that's what you want with these videos. So short form or vertical, this is what's popular, and this is what we're going to talk about doing today. All right, let's talk specifically about Reels. Hopefully you know what that is, but just in case you don't, it is on Instagram. Reels are the short form vertical video that you post. If you go to anyone's page and you click right here on this little part of their page, you can see all of their Reels. Reels also show up just in the feed too. You can also see the views from the Reels, which is kind of fun, especially your own page. It's good to get that data. But anyway, so Reels, the coolest thing about Reels on Instagram is that there is an algorithm that is very smart, and it sends these videos out to people that do not know you at all, do not know you, new eyeballs. And it can lead to hundreds and thousands and thousands and thousands and possibly millions of views and eyeballs on you. So it's absolutely free advertising. That is what Reels are. Now, if you don't know Instagram really well, there's something called stories and feed videos. If you post on your stories or your feed, the people that see those are people that already follow you. People that already follow you will also see your Reels, but like your stories, your feed posts are not getting pushed out to a giant audience, but your Reels are, and that's why they're so important. What you want though with these, since they are free advertisement, you want to make sure you are making them specifically for your target audience. Okay, like everything I post, since I'm all about video and teaching people video, you'll see here, this is all stuff about video. You know, sometimes it's trending, original, which we'll talk about that too. But I'm always on topic. If I want to post something about my son or something about my personal life, or, you know, a little bit of get to know me content, that's going to go in my stories for my current viewers and people that already follow me. That's great, because that's building the know, like, trust factor with them. But my Reels, knowing that they're going out to a bunch of random people that I want to get on me, you know, I want them to see me, these are going to be extremely topical. You don't want to confuse people or confuse the algorithm. If you make a cool Reel and it's about your cat, but your small business is being a florist, you might get a bunch of people that follow you because they think cats are cute and they have no business at all buying flowers. Like, they don't even care, you know? So it's like, those aren't the followers you want. So targeting your audience is really important. The whole point is to gain followers, and those followers can turn into leads and possibly clients for you, right? That's the whole point of the free advertising thing. So very topical content. And again, trending or original, and hopefully some of you guys know what that is, have scrolled through Reels and have seen the difference, but I am going to show you some examples of that too. So we will get there. All right. So since there are so many people out there posting Reels, also just a side note, when I say Reels, you can use the same type of videos on TikTok. It's like Instagram made Reels to copy TikTok. So it's like they're very similar formats, and this kind of stuff I'm about to go over can relate to both platforms. Also Facebook has Reels too now. So, but again, just referring to Instagram for easiness. So if there's so many people posting these videos, how are you going to stand out? The thing is, since people are scrolling these, if they don't really like what they're seeing, the first little few seconds, you're going to get scrolled by really quickly, right? Which isn't great. And the algorithm is going to see that and be like, oh, people don't like this video, we're not going to keep showing it. So it is important to have some sort of scroll stopping ability. So there is a bit of a formula for that. I will get to questions. If you guys want to keep writing questions in the chat, that's totally fine. I'll get those soon. So with every video you post, every Reel, every short form vertical video, you want to do one of the following three things. First one, educate, entertain, or inspire. You don't have to do all three of these things at once, but you want one of these things to happen. And again, you want these to be related to your niche. You want to get those target audience members knowing what you're about, what you offer, do they want to follow you? What value can you give them? So the formula for making these would be hook them in, give them value, and then do a call to action. And we're going to go over all three of these separately here, so you know exactly what this formula looks like. And then I'll show you some examples too. So the hook is that first three to 5 seconds. You've got to really, it's called a hook because you gotta hook people in, you know. You want to be really clear what this video is about. You don't want to stammer and stutter and, you know, take 3 or 5 seconds to even get to the point of the video. You just want to be really clear, like straight up, here's what I'm going to tell you, you know. This can be visual or auditory. You can use a graphic as a hook. You can also say that, I mean, you can do both. Say it and see it is a great way to do it. But just really clear. And if you can be creative with the hook, I mean, the more creative, the better, right? But you also don't have to like think you're an advertiser and you have to go to advertising school to write a good hook. It can just be descriptive of what the video is. I mean, that's all it really needs to be. And then the biggest part of the video will be giving value, right? That's kind of the big chunk of the section here with this formula. So the length can vary there, but whatever value you're giving, you want to do it as quickly as possible to respect people's time. And since we know that their attention span is short, you really want to keep it concise, and that's going to get people's more buy-in to watch the whole thing. Like I mentioned earlier, you want to use graphics or captions throughout to keep people entertained. If it's just you talking and there's nothing else going on, if it's super interesting, they might stick with the video. But generally, people want multiple elements, multiple layers going on in their video. That's kind of what is popular right now. So you want to keep it visually pleasing somehow, and we'll talk about some ways to do that here. And then the final little part of the formula is a call to action, or a CTA. You want to tell them what to do. It sounds sort of like, well, they can figure it out, like why do I have to tell them? But it does help people be more involved with your content, with your reel. So some popular ones that you could use are follow for more tips. If you gave like a tip, drop a smiley emoji, or drop something in the comments, double tap if you like this, which gives you a like. Save this video for reference. I like that one because if I do a reel that's like very explanatory on something like a process or something techie, save for reference, because people will save it and then possibly go back and watch it when they're ready to do the thing. DM me for more info, DM me for the link if you talked about a product or something like that. But yeah, definitely you don't want to end it with just like, okay, bye. You want to end it with some kind of call to action to just give them some buy-in, All right, so let's look at some examples of what this could look like. We're going to go through a few reels here, and I want you to think about hook, value, and call to action. I'm going to show you some good examples, and I think I have a bad example in here. We'll see. Let's watch this one. And I'm not affiliated with these people at all. This is just stuff I've screen recorded while I was scrolling reels.
Want to know the secret to getting good engagement? It's all about adding value to your posts. But how do you even add value? It's easy. You just have to stick to the main three: educate, entertain, or inspire. Easy as that. Make sure to save this reel in case you ever need a reminder.
All right, so that was good. She had all three of those elements in there. It was quick. It was visually pleasing. There was some changes. She did some jump cuts, which kept you entertained. And she had that call to action: save this reel for later. So good. And this style is really popular too. Just eye contact, talking to the camera. And that's what gives you people that face-to-face connection and that feeling that they're getting to know you and building the know, like, and trust factor. Okay, here's another one. This was a little bit more highly produced than that last one, but let's look for that hook, value, call to action sequence here.
How to download Reels from Instagram without the need for cropping, editing, and faffing around.
Go to igram.io, paste in the link to the reel, and download the clean video at full resolution.
Follow for more tips.
So this is great. It's definitely, he has a lot of personality, and you see that, which is fun. He gives you a great tip there. If that's somebody, if that's something that somebody wants to know, they very likely might save that and then go through the actions and go to that website and figure it out. He had a great hook at the beginning. It was very clear what the video was about. And then he was kind of funny too. So that's good. That one definitely took a little bit longer to make, but if you have the time and the expertise and the tech knowledge, something fun to do. And I think people appreciate that kind of thing. So those were original. You can also use this formula for trending reels, and trending it's a sound or a song that other people have used, and you're using the same sound or song. And the cool thing about trending reels is that they're kind of copies of each other. Like if you see one that you like, you can say, oh, I'm going to make that same reel, but make it like, fit my niche and show my personality a little bit. But even with the trending, you can stay on formula here. So let's look at this, guys. It's like a 5-second reel, so don't look away. But think about hook, value, call to action.
Who invited you guys?
Hey, hey.
He nailed it. Let's watch it again.
Who invited you guys?
So it's clear what it's about. You know, he's a runner. He's promoting running. He gives you some value by busting those myths. And then there's a call to action too. And it says read caption. And where it says here, if you run, you're a runner. If I clicked on that, if I was like live right now, there would be, he wrote more there. That's the like video caption, not the closed captions, but the video caption. And that's where you can give people a lot more context too. So if a reel is really short and fast like this, that's okay. If you're like, oh, I don't have time to like say anything. You can say those things in the caption to give more value. So that's a really good way to do it. The reel just got people interested, then they can get a little bit more info from that point. Okay, so that was actually all the examples. I didn't have a bad one, but I will tell you a bad one though, that I used to have in here. I don't know why it's not in here, but the guy started, he was like, okay, my name is Bill and let's get right to it. And like, it took him like 5 seconds to say that. And you're like, get right to what? What are we talking about? And then he kind of said something about podcasting or, you know, so he like talked about a topic, but it was like just this slow intro. Reels are not where you want to do that. Again, you want to hook people in. What he did was like, no hook at all. I'm like, I don't care what your name is. Don't tell me we're about to get into something without telling me what it is we're going to get into. So you want to just think hook quick, you know, grab people in. That is like so valuable and important with reels. Okay, so content. You might be thinking like, okay, cool. I see the value of video. Great. I see that the algorithm will push it out to people and I'll get a lot of views. Awesome. But I don't know what to talk about. I don't know what kind of videos to make. Well, I think you do know what to, I mean, I think you have more inside your brain than you realize. So a few ways to get content on paper out of your head. Just think about your expertise. A good brainstorming idea is to just take a piece of paper in like 20 minutes or a Word document and just think about everything you know about your niche, about your expertise, your job, your business. You probably know a lot. Like, let's say you're a lender. Think about everything you know about lending. You know a ton of stuff that other people are going to want to know too. And you're kind of the expert there. So what is your expertise that you could share with people? And how many little topics can you break it down into? But because the thing is, since these are short form videos, you do want to make the content short, like quick and easy. You don't want to do like, here's 5 tips before that you need to know before buying your next house. You want it to be like, here's 5 tips, but part 1 is this. And then you have a 5-part series going through those top tips or something. You want to make sure your videos are super digestible and short. So how can you break down your expertise into the tiniest bite-sized chunks? You know, it's not like you're writing a blog, a long 2,000 word blog. It's like you're writing 100 words, you know, or 50 words. Like how short can you make it? And then go to answerthepublic.com. This is a really cool website where you just can type in a topic here. I'm going to type in real estate and then hit search. And if you scroll down, here's all the things people search about on Google related to real estate. So all these questions, right? How real estate investing works. If you're a real estate agent, you probably know that. So can you make a video about it? Can you give people that answer? I mean, literally answerthepublic.com can give you hundreds of ideas for content that people are going to want to know and that will help them build interest in you. Yes, answerthepublic.com. So that's a good one. Another good way to find content is to follow other people in your space. You don't want to follow them just to straight up copy them, but you want to just see what they're doing. You know, if you are a realtor, I'm not a realtor, but I presented to realtors, so that's why I have some real estate stuff in here. But you know, this guy has almost 11,000 followers. That's a lot on Instagram. He posts a lot of videos, stories, and reels, and they're interesting to me, even though I'm not interested in real estate. So I think he's doing well. But if you just kind of search around, like scroll reels for a while and see what pops up, in your industry or even in other industries, but it's like an interesting reel. How can you take that and like copy it, but make it your own? Just see what's working for people. And that will help give you some ideas too for that content. All right, so the goal again with your content with these short form videos is to attract your ideal client. So really, really, truly keep that in mind. You know, if you have a website and you have FAQs on your website, or you get a lot of FAQs from people, can you make a video to answer each one of those? I mean, the video doesn't have to be called FAQs, but you can just take all of those and make short little videos to give people that value and answer their questions and get them interested in you. So that is content. There's not a limited amount. There really isn't. You just have to sort of open your mind and think about what all you could share that would get people interested. Okay, so I'm gonna pause here for just a sec and answer these couple of questions because then we're going to another section here. So what video format does Instagram accept? MP4? Yeah, MP4 is fine. Pretty much any, like if you have a video on your phone and you just upload it, that's fine. MP4 is a very standard format, so that is a good way to go. I think the only thing, maybe like if you have like a .WNV or something really specific, it might not upload. For the most part, most exported videos will upload fine. And do I have statistics on the age range? You know what? My services are around healthcare. Doing a video would be kind of tough for me, I think. Okay, yeah. So, you know, that's a great question that Sherry asked. Age range, people on Instagram. I do have these stats not in front of me, but they're in my head. So it'll be like kind of a range here. But Instagram users, the top percentage is about in their 30s. But the highest percentage, it's like 30%. So there's still a lot of other people out on the other 70% of people that aren't in the, you know, the most popular age range that are on Instagram. There are plenty of people in their 40s and over on Instagram. Same with TikTok. Surprisingly, the highest category on TikTok is 10 to 19 or something like that, where you're like, okay, children and teens, but it's only 25%. So there's still 75% of people on TikTok are not between ages 10 and 19. It's just scattered, you know? So even, you know, my mom is 65 and she just started a TikTok channel. She's 64, I don't know, but she's in network marketing. And I encouraged her to start a TikTok channel to give people info about the company. And she's like killing it. It's just her talking and she sends it to me and I kind of spruce it up and add graphics for her because I'm a good daughter. But I mean, she had one video that was like 13,000 views. And her target audience are people that are older adults that maybe are retired and want a second stream of income. And she's doing really well. She's gotten a lot of interest from it. So I would not shy away from any of these platforms based on age. I think more and more as well, older people are using these platforms too, because they see the power and know how many billions of people are on them. So I would definitely not write them off based on age ranges. Okay, so the tech setup. With any of these videos you make, be it Reels, be it just something for LinkedIn or something for even your current clients. Let's say you want to send videos to give some info about an upcoming thing you have, or, you know, whatever changes in your business. A video is a great way to do that. So with any video you make on your phone, all of these things apply here. So let's get into it. Oops. We are going to go over 5 things. If you can just think about these 5 things, they're vastly going to improve your videos. Stability, framing, lighting, sound, and editing. All right, stability. You really want to keep your phone stable when you're shooting. A lot of people on social media just hold their phone, and that can work, you know, but it cannot work very well for a lot of people. Because I think the thing is, some people talk with their hands, you know, so it's like, and they can't help but like have some shakes, and it's just difficult to watch. So I would really advise not holding it unless you know that you're extremely steady and you cannot move. But there's really easy things you can do to add stability. A tripod is a great one. They make all these things just for phones. So tripod, a gimbal, if you want to look that up, that's something that if you're shooting a lot of footage, like B-roll of a product, it keeps your phone just like super smooth. Selfie stick even, a binder clip. Do I have my binder clip here? Oh yes, I do. Goodness. So easiest stability hack ever. So take something you probably already have, clip it on your phone, and then set it on a surface here. And the binder clip will act like a tripod there. So ta-da. And you know, the binder clip is like 5 cents. I don't know how much they are. So even that is going to give you more stability than you just trying to hold it. If you don't have anything at all, you can use your elbows as a tripod. So if you have your elbows on a steady surface, this is going to help as well. So that's an option. If you have another person with you, ask them to shoot it because they'll be able to hold it more still so that you can talk and be expressive and use your hands. All right. Framing. I'm going to show you a series of short form videos here to explain framing, to show you that videos are a great way to teach people. And also just to really like show you examples of these tips really specifically. Making your phone videos look better, part 2, featuring my son, Boston. Fill the frame. Once you have your dominant subject in mind, you're gonna fill the frame with him. Make him dominant. Don't make your viewers struggle to figure out what they're supposed to be looking at. And do not use your zoom. That will degrade the quality. Disclaimer, ignore that advice if you're at the zoo and you're trying to film an alligator. Just go ahead and use your zoom. Okay, part 3. Coming your way. These are reels. So if you do want to look at my entire 12-part series on this, it's PhoneVideo 101 is my Instagram handle. Okay, so filling the frame, very important. And the cool thing too about shooting vertically, if you're shooting a person on camera, be it my son or, you know, shooting myself there and that, vertical is really, shooting a person fills the frame really well. When you shoot horizontally, like traditionally, which is horizontal is still very popular for TV, you know, YouTube, other online videos, like totally fine. But if you think about it, if I shoot like this, I'm going to be smaller in the screen and there's going to be more background to think about and fill, just like the computer right now. But if it's like this, I am big and bold in the center. So it's really awesome, vertical, to really fill yourself, to be the dominant subject. The rule of thirds, some people have likely heard of this. It's a rule of composition that applies to photography and video. So let's watch another clip here about what it is and why it's important. Making your phone videos look better, part 3, featuring my son, Boston. The rule of thirds. This simply means creating thirds on your screen by drawing 2 horizontal and 2 vertical lines. For people, you want their eyes on that top third line, not on the bottom third. This is going to fill the frame nicely. All right, part 4 coming your way. All right, so that's the rule of thirds. If that was interesting to you and you're curious about it, there's a lot more to it. Just Google rule of thirds and you'll get a lot more info. All right, and then the last point here with framing is eye level. The easiest, quickest way to improve your social videos, which is you talking to the camera, is to frame yourself properly. I'm going to show you 2 ways you don't want to frame to start with, and then I'll show you the right way. First way is to shoot down at this angle. A lot of people do this because they think it's more flattering, but I'm like craning my neck up to make eye contact with the camera, and you can tell I'm looking up at you. This is an awkward angle. You want to make your videos feel like you're talking one-on-one with somebody. You also want to avoid shooting up at yourself. This is not a comfortable angle to speak to someone either. It looks like I'm looking down at the camera, like I'm talking to a little child. You don't want your audience to feel like they're being spoken at. You want that camera just right at eye level. So here I am, the camera and I are eye to eye, we're making eye contact. I'm speaking right to you, the person watching the video. Doesn't this look so much better? So you guys have probably, if you've shot any video, you've probably experimented, whether you know it or not, with angles. And that up angle is quite popular, but I will say it does just kind of look weird. It just doesn't look like natural, you know? I would say you can go up a little, that's fine. You just want to avoid that like the extreme up angle. Okay. Plus on that point, when you are talking to the camera, it's really important that you look at the lens up here and not at yourself on the screen. It's really hard to do as you're starting out because, you know, if I'm here, it's hard not to look at me right here. It's hard to look up here, but that looking at the lens is what emulates eye contact. If you're looking down, it kind of looks like you're looking at the person's chest or their mouth. It just doesn't feel like a personal video that way. So that's another thing to watch out for. All right, lighting can really make or break a video. If the person is not lit well, you don't look as good. It's just harder to watch. It doesn't look as professional, and it's actually really easy to light a video of a person talking. You want to really think about lighting the face from the sides or behind the camera. And I've got a video here to show you exactly how to do that. The things you want to avoid with lighting that a lot of people do, not thinking about it, is overhead light. Just direct light down from the ceiling. It does not look good. Check out this example here. You know, this woman is just not in the most flattering light. She's got shadows under her eyes. But if you use something like a ring light, her face is being lit directly from behind and the sides of the camera. This is a nice, even, flattering light. If you don't have a ring light, that's okay. Just think about, how can I get light behind my phone or computer, whatever you're shooting on? Can you sit in front of a window? Because the window can be really nice lighting on your face, if it's soft light. Can you turn off your overheads and use a couple lamps even behind the camera to get that light directly on your face? Take a look. If I turn my ring light off, that doesn't look good, right? I mean, I've got some side light from the window back here. I also have a light right here because of this camera. So, you know, I've got a very lit side of my face. This side is dark. I do have overheads shining on me. I look old. I mean, I look wrinkly. Look at my forehead. I look shadowed under here. Not a good look. Let me turn the ring light back on. Oh my gosh, it's so much better. You can see the difference. I also just leave my ring light behind my computer. It's on right now. So when I'm on Zooms, I can just turn it on when I'm not using it to shoot video. So that's another really good reason to get a ring light. If you have glasses, ring lights aren't necessarily the best option because they will give you really heavy rings reflection in the glasses. So you want to think more about lighting further from the sides on you instead of directly in front of you, because that's what gives you that like heavy look in your glasses. If you can go without glasses when you're making video, that's best. But I know some people, like, your glasses are part of you, so you can definitely work around that. It's not impossible. Okay, audio. So bad audio can also really break a video, especially if you're the subject and you're giving value. You want to be heard really clearly, because that's kind of the point of the video, is the thing you're saying. So the best way to get good, clean audio is to get a microphone, a lavalier. They're very inexpensive. You just plug it right in your phone. Check out this video to hear the difference that it can make. Oh, hey, are you in the market for a microphone? If you're not, you should be, and here's why. This is what I sound like without a microphone. And this is what I sound like with a microphone. Big difference, right? This little guy, it's called the Lav mic. It's under 40 bucks on Amazon, and it picks up great sound. You can either clip it to your shirt or under your shirt, but I like to hold it because to me it says, hey, I care about quality. One more time, this is what it sounds like without the microphone. I am a little bit closer to the phone, so it's slightly better, but it's still not great audio. I'm gonna clip this little guy into my phone, and then this microphone will just automatically take over. I think I made my point. This is better than no microphone. If you want the link to this under $40 little lavalier microphone that goes right into your iPhone, DM me and I will send you the link. I can just send you the link. You don't have to DM me. This is the real, so. But big difference, right? I mean, you can hear me without the mic, but it's a struggle, and you don't want to make your viewers struggle, right? You want to make it easy and pleasant for them to watch your video. If you don't have a microphone, you can try using your AirPods or earbuds, but just know that those are not meant to be a video microphone. So they pick up sound pretty well, but it is a little bit canny sounding, if you will. It's not like super crystal clear like a microphone would be. And also it's the look, you know, do you want this look? You know, do you want the ear, you know, the cord hanging? Yeah, maybe not. Avoid noisy and big echoey spaces if you don't have a mic, or even if you do have a mic, that's a good suggestion. But like any kind of competing background noise, even if it's just room noise, you don't want anything to compete with your voice. So a lot of people also just film in their car, be it for Instagram stories or if they're making a reel. I mean, if the point is you talking and what you're saying, the background doesn't really matter, you know? I mean, if it does, if you're a pottery person, it might be cool to be in your pottery studio and if you're talking about something. But if you're just giving some tip about something else, car's fine, because the lighting is pretty even if it's not like harshly coming in, you know, from one side. If it's just overhead, nice and even. And then it's quiet in a car, especially if you're just parked on a street. You don't want to do it while you're driving by any means, but you can just be really quiet and have nice light there. So not a bad option at all. Our last point here is editing. This is like my favorite thing. I'm like an editor through and through. That's like my main skill with video. So I will always be a fan of the importance of editing. What is popular right now with social media as far as editing goes is really super tight cuts. No pauses, no breaths. We do not want to hear you breathe. Do not breathe on camera. If you do, cut that out. So let's look at an example video here. I want you to really absorb the message of this video because it's true as you're thinking about content and getting yourself out there, but also just watch for the cuts. See how few pauses there are in there. If you're afraid to get on video and talk about something because you're afraid people aren't gonna want to hear from you, this message is for you. You are an authority. You're an authority on some subject, some topic, the thing you know most about. You definitely know more about that than other people. Therefore, other people that don't know as much as you are gonna wanna learn from you because you are that authority. You don't have to know absolutely everything about a certain subject to talk about it, to give value, to teach people. So step into that power and show up confidently on video. I promise people are gonna wanna hear from you. All right, I'm looking for the link to that microphone. Oh, there it is. Yeah, so see how tight that was? That's what works. That's what people want with these types of videos. So there are a few ways that you can edit. Oh, you know what? No, I was going to show you some other examples here before we get into the ways, just so you don't have to always watch me here. Here's another person from Instagram. So in that video of me, it was just one long take that I did. And of course I messed up and there were pauses and stuff, but I took that clip and in editing, cut out all that stuff and made it one video and added captions. But another way to do it is to record each line of your video as a separate take completely, which is what she has done here.
We need to start looking at Instagram differently. When I host a workshop or work with a client, I hear this every single time. Shannon, I've really been overcomplicating this. And it's because I tell them this. Instead of an app, I want you to think of your Instagram profile as a physical store that someone could walk into. Your bio is your signage. It's your billboard. It tells people what's inside. And your grid is your storefront. It's the window so people can get what the vibe is like, who's inside, and what they can buy. And your stories are the open door.
All right, so you guys get that. The cool thing about that is it's very stylish to do it like that, to do separate takes like that. Like 20 years ago when I started this career, that kind of video would not have flown in any capacity, like jump cuts like that. No, you would need to cover with B-roll, make it all seem like it was one take. But now it's like, nobody cares if it's one take. Just cut out the pauses. That's what we want. So that's an easy way to do it because it's not much memorization. I mean, you can surely think of be able to remember one line at a time, hit record, say it, hit stop, go somewhere else. Now you're doing the next line. So it's actually an easy way to make reels and to do it without those pauses and all of that stuff. You can overdo it though with the edits. And here's an example video of what I think is an overdone edit.
We're going to start a podcast coaching real people with real challenges that you know how to solve. You can ask your existing clients to join you, or you can offer these coaching sessions to potential clients at a discounted rate and promote this offer to your audience as a limited time offer and then convert them into clients.
All right. Too much, right? He was like, every few words was a new cut and he was just like moving side to side. It was just, I don't even know the I watched it like 10 times. I still don't quite know what he's talking about because it's just like too much. So you don't want to over edit either. You can also do it with no edits at all. Here is a realtor and let's just watch a little bit of this reel. It's all one take, no cuts.
How do you even get your offer noticed in this market? My clients are doing a few things a little bit differently than other buyers out there. So it's my job as your agent to make sure I know what the seller wants and we're tailoring our offers specifically to that seller. So whether it's price.
All right, so the way she did that, you can tell she spoke fast. There's no pauses. She knew what she was saying. Pretty sure she used a teleprompter app, that's what this is here. There's no audio here, so you can just see the visual. But in your app in your phone, you put a script in and it rolls and you just read it and it's near the lens. So it looks like you're looking at the lens. And then ta-da, it's done. So that's a great way to do it if you don't want to deal with the multiple takes and like the edits and the cuts. Just write yourself a script, get a teleprompter app. There's tons of them out there. They all kind of basically work the same. And just record that way. And there you go. If you do that though, you do need to trim. Just the most basic of editing is trimming the beginning and end of the clip. So because you don't want that, this look, blah, 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 blah. Okay, so you need to at least trim it up, and there's ways to do that. So with editing, there's apps that you can edit in, like KineMaster is a good one. That's the one I teach in my online course. I think it's really powerful and user-friendly. CapCut is a very popular one these days. VN is also a good one. If you want to edit on a desktop computer, Adobe Premiere is kind of like professional software. That's what I use with my professional work, but it's not impossible to learn. Like really anyone could learn it. There's also Filmora, Canva that you might already use for other purposes. They're like beefing up their video editing part of that tool. CapCut also is an app, but it has a desktop application too. So that's a good one to learn as well. But there's plenty of ways to edit. You can also outsource editing, like send it to someone on Fiverr overseas. Most likely they edit for really cheap. They can add those captions, all of that stuff for you. And I know there's a question about captions, which I will get to very, very soon. But like I said, that basic trimming, at least do that much. And I'm going to play a 2-minute video here that shows you how to trim in your Photos app on your phone. If you don't know how to do that, it's a very useful skill. So I'm going to show you just the basics of editing so that you can trim up the beginning and end of your clip before you post it anywhere. So you're going to go into your Photos app, find the clip you want to edit. Simon here takes a pause there at the beginning. And I want to trim that off because I want it to start with just him talking right away. So I'm going to go to edit at the top. And then if I just drag this bar here, you see these 2 little arrows at the beginning and end. That bar turns yellow, and that means it's in trim mode, so it'll trim your clip. So I can slowly drag this and watch kind of, okay, that's where he starts talking. So I'm going to back it up a little. I can hit play to preview.
Hi, my name is Simon Sweet.
Okay, that's good. And then the end, he also has some extra space there where he turns off the camera. So I can again drag slowly, look for his last word. He ends on a smile, which is great. There we go. All right, and then you can use this little white playhead to preview just a certain part of the clip.
The skills, the confidence, and everything you get from taking the course. So highly recommend it.
Great, that's exactly what I want. I'm gonna hit done. And you can either save video as a new clip, or if you wanna just save over this version, you hit save video. I'm gonna just save the video because I don't need the part of him turning the camera on and off at the beginning and end. So now if I come in here to my photos, you'll see the clip is now trimmed.
Hi, my name is Simon Sweet. I'm a
All right, so that's the very basics of editing. I did that on an iPhone, but if you have an Android, it's very similar. It's slightly different interface, but you just find something that says edit. It might be like a little menu or 3 dots, and then you go in there, but it has the same capability though to trim. You can't like make cuts throughout with that, but you can at least trim the beginning and end that way, which is the most basic of editing, but super useful. So that's your tech setup. Always be thinking, and these all become like second nature once you do them a lot, but stability, framing, lighting, sound, and editing. Okay, so we are low on time. I'm going to run through these really quick. If you are camera shy and you're like, I don't want to be on camera, here's a few tips for you just to get you going here. You want to know your content before you record, right? Whether that's recording one little line at a time so that you're getting everything down without having to like memorize and stress about it. But you want to know what you're talking about. So you just are super concise, specific. As far as clothing, wearing bright, solid colors, unlike this lady here in the picture, more like what I'm wearing, it looks good on most skin tones. So it's going to kind of brighten you up as far as like, if you're concerned about your appearance, a bright color, like a jewel tone. If you look up jewel tones, those are really good on most skin types. Again, you want to look at the lens and not yourself. That might help you be less self-conscious if you're not seeing yourself. And the lens is that eye contact thing. Some people will, after you get yourself framed up and everything, just cover it up with a sticky note or something like that, or just put a little sticker or arrow up here to remind you to look at the lens. Because most likely you're shooting these in selfie mode, because the likelihood of you having someone else there to film you, much more likely that you're shooting yourself. So Having a bigger personality on camera goes a long way. Video, I like to say, adds 10 pounds and takes out 30% personality. So yay. Not really, but it does, if you're a little bit up more so than you might be in real life, that's going to come across really well on video. You're not going to look too cheesy if you smile a little bit more than you normally would. People are going to interpret that well, usually. And then just practicing, getting on camera, you know, even if it's like making something that you aren't going to post, but just practicing the art of presenting with a little device in your face will help you be more comfortable. You know, if you look at a lot of big accounts, be it businesses on Instagram or influencers, if you look at like their early stuff, it's like vast improvement for most people. So you absolutely will improve too by practicing and just making yourself get comfortable with it. It's a super useful skill, and being on camera is a skill. It is something that you can learn. It's not like you're born with it or you're not. It's something you can practice and actually get good at. I'm gonna skip this. Learning how to pour time. Okay, so if you want to find me and keep learning from me, this is where I am. If you want to write that down, 50% off code, Small Biz Kentucky, Small Biz KY. My course is $397, so this makes it under 200, and it'll cover some stuff we've already covered, but then it's like a lot more. But there is a whole module more about Instagram, more about exactly how to make reels, like behind the scenes, shoulder, like over the shoulder of me actually doing everything in there. So that is extreme. This is like the most useful part if you want to start actually making reels. But then there's just so much other good stuff that is like a great basis for creating video for any platform going into the future or anything. So I'll put that info in the chat too. And if you want to follow me, I am on Instagram there. If you want to contact me, DM me. That's a great way to get me because I'm on Instagram a lot. So feel free. Also, if you binge through some of my reels, you'll see a lot more tips too, because I do like to teach a lot on the reels. Okay, some questions coming in here. Okay, so let's go to Ashley. She asked about captions, adding captions, which you saw through a lot of those example videos. Captions are super important because something like, I don't know what percent, like 60 something percent of people scroll with their sound down or off or very low. So you do want to have nice crystal clear audio for those people that are listening. But for everyone else, having captions is great because it's inclusive. It means that they can read what you're saying, even if they can't hear you. So there's a few ways to do it. You can add captions in outside apps like CapCut, for instance, is a great one to add captions. You can change the appearance, you know, like the size, font, color, all of that stuff. You can change if they're like 3 words or like 10 words on screen. So that's a great way to do it. But an even better way, I think, is just to upload them in Instagram or in TikTok. You simply, as you're making the reel, you can add a sticker. And if you search stickers and search caption, hit close caption, it'll transcribe it for you and put those captions on the screen. And you have a few options for how you want them to look. And you can also change the size of them by pinching with your finger to make them smaller or larger and place them on the screen, because you don't want them over your face. I want to put captions right here because that's going to ruin the eye contact and stuff. But you would put captions like right here because that's where they are on TV. That's where people are used to seeing them. So that's a great way to do it. It's easy. It's pretty accurate. And adding the captions in Instagram gives Instagram more keywords, so the algorithm knows who to push the stuff out to. So that's actually, they might look cooler if you do an outside app, but I think for searchability and discoverability, it's better to add the captions inside Reels or TikTok, wherever you're posting the video to. Okay, are there certain areas or platforms on Instagram, Twitter, etc., specifically for business, for social stuff? No. You know, I do not know anything about Twitter, so I will just tell you that I don't use it. I don't know much about it. I know you can post videos on it, but that's about it. But as far as Instagram goes, no. But what you can do is have a separate personal account and business account. That's what I have. Which on my personal, I just post pictures of my son all the time, much. And then my business, it's very, you know, PhoneVideo 101. It is extremely focused. I occasionally post personal stuff, but, you know, just to my stories or occasionally the feed. So that's a good way to do it. But a lot of people in this space and mentors, gurus, say just make it one, make your personal and business the same thing, but lean more into the business aspect, but leave your personal stuff in the stories for people that follow you. So that's an idea too. I mean, it's totally up to you if you want to separate the two. I think it's totally legit to do that. Cooking classes is what I do. And how can I do it with edit? Maria, thank you for the question. So yeah, you can film yourself cooking. It could be like one setup where the camera's a little bit far back, and you're getting everything and you're explaining it. If you're wearing a mic, you say, okay, now we're adding the flour and stirring the egg in. I don't really cook. We're cutting the vegetable. So you're explaining everything as you go through. And a way to vary up the shots would be after you shoot the whole thing, kind of like in one take of everything, go back and shoot some separate takes of the stuff. Can you set your tripod close to the zucchini and just get a close-up of that zucchini being cut? And then in editing, you add that B-roll, that secondary footage on top of the base footage of you explaining it and seeing the whole thing. So that does take some tech skill. I teach that in my course extensively, how to edit on your phone, so that you can learn how to do those things. I mean, my course is not the only way to learn how to edit. There's lots of other resources out there. You could also shoot that whole thing, including the B-roll, and then send it off for someone else to edit for you if that's not something that you want to do. Because there are plenty of people that can edit and want to edit social. So it's definitely feasible to have an outside editor that's not like crazy expensive either. So a couple options there. Any more questions?
Well, yeah, we have one more.
More here, yeah, from Noel.
Yes, yeah.
What if slowing down, spaciousness, etc., are part of your brand? What would you recommend in terms of video editing? Okay, that's a great question. Because yes, Noel, not every brand or niche or personality is going to fit into that box of the super fast cuts. And that's okay, because again, with Reels and TikToks and things, they're ads, you're targeting people that you want to follow you. So if your niche and what you're selling is spaciousness or slowness, or mindfulness or something like that, then you want to attract people that are going to see a video that is a little bit slower and give you the time of day and watch it. So yes, be yourself. You don't have to follow all of these like standards and norms, because it's not going to work for everybody. What is going to work is you being yourself, showing people who you are, what your brand is, and getting the right people to want to follow you. Because if that's your brand, spaciousness, slowness, and you're cutting really fast, the people that might like that and follow you are maybe not the people that actually want the spaciousness and slowness. So just think about your target audience and make content for them. Again, like with the question earlier about being older, like the older target audience, maybe that target audience might not like the fast paced cuts and it's like too much for them. If you know that's your target, then just speak to them like that they want to be spoken to and have a slower video. And that's totally okay, because you're going to attract the right people with that type of thing.
I think that's it of the questions. This was great, Heather. Let me ask you a question, a quick one though. I mean, you've given us a ton of information, a ton of things to do, a ton of techniques. And I think sometimes, especially me, I can get overwhelmed when you throw that much at me at one time. So if you were going to tell me where to start and what would be the first thing I would want to do, what would you tell me?
I'd say buy my course to give you a good education, because I know it is really overwhelming, and it's like there's so much content out there too that can help you with these things. But there's so much content, right? Like if you go to YouTube and search how to make video for Instagram, let's say, you're going to get so many results. You're going to see things out of order, and I find that, and this is why my course is called 101, because it is like the basics and it's in steps and it's one system to really give you all that understanding and let you go at your own pace and not overwhelm you. So there is that, but I would say if you are just like, I just want to do this, I want to do it on my own, but I want to start small. Just start scrolling Reels. If you're kind of like, oh, I'm not into Reels, I don't really watch them. I would say like for 10 minutes a day, just scroll, just go to Reels and start scrolling and see what comes up, see what you like, see what you don't like. Scroll past what you don't like kind of quickly, because Instagram will learn you. The algorithm will start showing you what you do like. And I think you'll find it super interesting, and you'll see the discoverability it can give people, and the power that it has. And I think that will help you get more interested in actually starting to make videos. So just start scrolling. You can save videos you like to go back and reference them. But once you have like a solid understanding of kind of what Reels are and what you like and what works for you, think about making one. Get in there, record a video as simple as just a teleprompter, a short script, trim the beginning and end, add captions, post it. That's a great way to start, and don't worry too much about your view count initially. I think it's more important just to start getting some stuff out there, and the more you make it, the easier it'll become, the more you're going to enjoy it, and you might, have some more creative ideas and really kind of go all in on it.
Mm-hmm. So the message is practice. Practice makes perfect, I guess.
I think, yeah, observe, and practice.
Okay. Well, Heather, I can't thank you enough for sharing all this with us. I mean, this has been spectacular, and I'm certainly going to jump on your course because I think that'll be super helpful for me. And we really appreciate it. I hope you'll come back and share some more with everybody.
Yeah, I would love to. There's like endless amounts of things to talk about and teach about with video. Yep. So
Jenny says
oh, go ahead.
Jenny says she's already ordered the microphone.
Oh, okay.
Light.
Yeah, nice. It's a good one. Yeah. But we could do a session where, actually make a reel. I've done that in workshops so that people can really step by step watch exactly how to do it. So that's always a fun one.
All right. Thank you so much, Heather.
Hi, you're welcome. Thanks for having me.
Thanks everybody for joining us today, and we'll see you on another Toolkit Tuesday, and we'll see you soon. Thanks, Heather, and thanks everybody for joining.
Bye.